Hi, I'm Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level in the gym by getting that personal record, burning fat, building muscle, dialing in on nutrition practices, and establishing a world-class nutrition program. On YouTube, a lot of my specialty is on discussing championship winning mindsets, psychological strategies, exercises, and other topics to help organize and get to that next level are our thoughts. Have you ever thought about what the purpose is of weightlifting and even like a personal record? What's the point of pushing weight to its max capacity in your body? The reason I'll be talking about this today is because today I'll be going to push a little weight higher than 225 on a push jerk, squat, clean, and push jerk. That's an Olympic lift, so you grab weight from the bottom, you rack it into a squat clean position, and then you do a little bit of a squat, a mini squat, and you jerk it and push it up into the sky for a max lift. You've probably seen this on TV, or you may know full well what I'm talking about. What's the point of actually going heavy on a lift like this? Does it have a purpose besides an ego boost or being cool, or like, does it have a purpose? And that's what I want to discuss. See, when I first discovered Olympic lifts, or actually started getting into them, I think it was 2011. CrossFit was really taking hold in the market, and I started doing some Olympic lifts. I think the first time I got exposed to this was with Grace. The exercise was called Grace, and it was 30 clean and jerks, right? 30 clean and jerks at 135. And I remember that exercise, that workout, kicking my ass, really. Because it was just, I didn't have bumper plates at the time, and I was using standard equipment at the gym, and that was my first exposure to actually trying a workout using push jerks. Now, at this stage of my training, I don't do CrossFit workouts like that. I don't do 30 push jerks. It's just a lot of volume, and I think that CrossFit does tend to kind of wear down the joints a little bit more than is needed. But that's how I got into Olympic lifting, is through CrossFit. And a lot of people getting into Olympic lifting these days kind of got introduced to it through CrossFit. If anything, I think that that's one of the things that CrossFit does really well, is introduce people to the beauty of Olympic lifts, right? And so what's the point of personal records, okay? Well, let's just say, my max push jerk is, I think it's 255. I don't think I've passed 255 just yet. I was moving 215 proficiently for 3 a few months ago before I got small injuries. And so what's the point of push of records, really? I open up a lot of my videos as to, I'm a fitness and leadership coach, help people just like you get to the next level, personal records, burning fat. So, I talk about them. So what's the point of a personal record, and how do you achieve one, and all that? What's the whole jazz about, really? Well, I'm going to share with you what's going on in my mind, exactly like the emotional state I'm in, and then I will also be discussing what I'm looking for in that personal record. So last week I hit a personal record for the week, okay, because I'm coming back from an injury. So it's kind of like a new personal record. It's not new as in I've never hit it, but I hit a 225 squat clean and a push jerk. 225, that's 2 plates, 2 45s on each side. And so what am I looking for? If you think about what the next level is for us, there's always something in our life that is going to be composed that next level. Okay, so let's look at 4 B's, like as we discussed in Warrior. There's body, being, balance, and business. Well, if I know that last week I hit a 225 push jerk with a squat clean, and if this week I can hit a 245, that's adding 10 pounds on each side, then I know that things are getting better internally, like mentally, neurologically, joint-wise. My muscles are contracting at a better, faster rate. There's a progression, an upward curve. Now, let's just say if that area of my life is going up, And let's just say if I got 2 new clients, right? Like I think I got 2 new clients last week. Okay, good. So that means that the business is on its way up. So that's 2 of the B's. Balance wise, I've talked about how my father passed away, and I've been mourning his loss, the loss of my father, for about over 30 days now, close to 40 days now. And there's a peace that's starting to settle within. Like there's a peace with it starting to settle, partly because I knew my father was struggling with his health for many months, for years. So there's a level of peace that is starting to fall, and a certain level of resilience. So let's say that's balance. I have an optimistic outlook towards my love life. I have an optimistic outlook. So that's balance, right? Business. Okay, so business, and so that leaves being. So on a spiritual level, like I've been meditating now since 2016 consecutively. I made a commitment in 2012, and like there's this deep level of trust in faith. Like I feel really connected to the message of God. I feel very connected to what God is telling me. Like the consistent message that God, I feel, is telling me at this stage is like, have faith, know that you're going to get through this rough patch of life, this storm. Like have faith. And so like those are the 4 B's: body, being, balance, and business. And so I'm not optimistic. I'm healing in some areas of those B's. I'm seeing an uptick or a shift in business. And so that leaves the body, like the personal record of the body, to say, so if I can push the body a little more, then that moves the metric up. Now, someone could say, well, do you really need more strength than 225? Truthfully speaking, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I don't particularly need that strength. No, like I'm not going to walk through my day and someone's going to say, well, if you only had the ability to pick up, 20 more pounds, that wouldn't change your life. What it does do is it allows me to have a certain like internal confidence, like a deep internal confidence that my body is functioning well, that it is in fact improving. And this leads to like an internal synergistic effect inwardly. So that's what it does, like on its deepest level. Okay. So I'll, if you want to follow my Instagram account to see some of my lifts, I'm not going to post them here on YouTube. My handle on there is at the Dream Architect, or the Dream Architect, just like it sounds. So if you want to see some of my lifts, I do have my YouTube videos linked on there, but a lot of you on my YouTube may not know my Instagram. So if you want to follow, that's where I'll post my lifts. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, post like memes and stuff, pictures. And so if you wanted to see how the lift goes, if I don't post the lift, I didn't achieve it. So anyway, so I'll be going for 245. That'll be my goal today. On a squat, clean, push, jerk. Sounds kind of intimidating, really, right? It kind of sounds intimidating. In any case, let me get ready for that. What else? But I think that if I look back, like all the way back till before I started Olympic lifting, I think that Olympic lifting kind of looked pointless, I think that it looked sort of like just about strength, and coming from a bodybuilding background, or originally a bodybuilding background, I primarily wanted muscle size, really. Olympic lifting is a lot about like explosive, strong, like brutal muscle control strength. And I actually like that one probably a little more than actual just muscle tissue or muscle growth or looking big now. Because just feeling strong it has a very good feeling inwardly. Like the body feels really healthy when the body is strong. So like I'm leaning towards more a denser, stronger joint, just like more compact tissue. I like that a little more now. I like bodybuilding too. Just I don't obsess about it like I used to, or I don't need to look a certain way that if I don't, I freak the fuck out. I am, of course, looking to taper down my midsection. So there is that. Like if I could drop 2 to 3 inches more on my waistline. So there is still that. But I definitely like the denser, more muscular, like glutes, quads, back, arm thickness, stuff like that. I like that thick, look while being as lean as possible. Versus bodybuilding is a little bit more, aesthetic, fluid, big muscles, little joints. It's got more of that look. Okay, so if you want to hit a personal record, you're gonna have to establish a baseline. So let's just say that if you want to start off simple, the most important lift I'd say to get into is the deadlift, because it's the easiest one to establish a baseline. Let's just say you're a male. I think that if you're a male, relatively strong, relatively mobile, I think that it's fair to say that I'd expect you to have at least 135 pound deadlift. I think the max deadlift I've ever had is like 425. Okay, so it's nothing fancy. I wish I could go heavier, or I wish I would have gotten heavier. 425. Yeah, and it's just like usually at those numbers, anything after 425, for me, sometimes life has happened where I was unable to focus and continue, getting deeper, or a small injury comes in, or like my joints start giving me it was a long weekend. Okay, my joints start giving me some warning signs, like I should lay off and stuff like that. So that's some of the main reasons I don't go past 425. I mean, I'd like to hit a 600 pound deadlift. It's just, I don't know if that'll ever happen. I really don't know at this point. It's not gonna kill me if I don't, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to go to the gym, work out. So establish your baseline, and then once you establish your baseline, let's say on your deadlift, then I start incrementing at a reasonable rate. Like say it's reasonable for you to give yourself a day, 2-3 days rest, and then come at it again. Add 5 pounds up to 10 pounds, but dial in and make sure that your form isn't being compromised just for the number. Okay, if you're throwing away form just for a number, just for the personal record, I think you're doing it wrong, and you're likely going to be stunted within a month or 2 or 3 for that bad form. So make sure that the form sticks and you are dialing in on that, okay, on the form, and progress slowly. A slow, steady rise is better than some dramatic numbers that, are ego-based, with terrible form and are likely to injure you, okay? I am against like showboating and like just ego lifting, really. Like lift the bar, not your ego, okay? Have enough patience and dignity and pride in the lift and yourself to not be, out of control, okay? So keep that in mind. But yeah, other than that, record it, record these on video or on Instagram, post them, post your personal records, because it boosts your confidence, it boosts your overall morale, it boosts your trust in yourself. And all these things are important beyond the bragging rights. Like they're really intrinsic, valuable things that they do for you. Like if I hit that 245, right, I'm gonna amp myself up. Like I'll likely take some pre-workout because I'm a little bit sleepy. I slept okay, but the weekend, July 4th, like just my sleeping patterns have been all over the place, very erratic. So once you do that, record your lifts, post them online, and have a way of recording your progress. And stay away from injuries, wrap up your knees, wear some belts, do what it takes to avoid the injuries, because the injuries set you back. I have a program here that I'm thinking about implementing again. It's the one I last had when I got injured, but I was becoming so ambitious that I pushed it a little too fast too soon, and I might just look at it again and kind of slow down the growth of it, slow down my overall ambition on it to see if I can prolong the program, because I was dialing in pretty good on it. So that's something to think about. But for today, I'll keep it simple and just go and hit my personal record as the goal, 245. It's exciting. It's exciting. Naturally, you could obviously, not care and be reckless and forget the form and just go out and try to be like, if you say you see me and you're like, well, screw that guy, I can hit 245 on a squat clean push jerk, and you have no experience. Like, I have a lot of many years of experience, and so I know how my body's supposed to feel at 95, at 135. I know how my body's supposed to feel like the second I stand on the platform. Like, I've done many days and rounds of that. So I would not attempt a 400-pound squat clean push jerk today, right? Because I have not gone to that level ever. So in that same token, like, if you disrespect like people's achievements and you try to be where they're at without building to that, then you can hurt yourself pretty easily, pretty rapidly. And I think that's where a lot of the CrossFit criticisms came in. That's where I stand with CrossFit, and a lot of the injuries that came in. People would see these people were maybe hadn't worked out in like 2 years, 5 years, or maybe they were good in high school in some sport, and then 5 years had passed, they hadn't worked out, and there was people that were working out for all their life, and then they saw, well, I've been working in high school, I used to run track, so I should be able to do this 200 pounds Olympic lift, and I think that's where injuries started happening. Like, there was no respect towards the experience that others had, the professionalism and the years of training that others have, and these people were coming on and trying to like match others. So I think that was some of the main reasons that injuries would happen, and CrossFit got such a bad name so rapidly. In any case, just going to go a pure Olympic lift today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments. What do you think is the reason that you like personal records or pushing the bar, pushing heavy weight? What are some reasons that you? For me, it's that inner confidence, that inner knowledge that my body is functioning at its best. Yes, denser tissue, denser muscles, stronger joints, like a more powerful mind, like all those things are important. So it's all of it for me. It's that less body fat, more core strength, more density in the muscles, more strength in the tendons and ligaments. All of that matters to me, and that's why I'll be going for that. So what is your thoughts? What is your questions? I'd love to hear them. This is Jacob Patton. We'll see you next time. Peace.